Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today we are diving deep into a critical technical failure regarding Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. We at Teknobalta analyzed this specific scenario where the game fails to launch after a hard system reset. The user reports that after a crash during unit placement, they forced a PC shutdown. Now, the Steam launcher shows the game as running for 2 seconds, then it immediately closes. This is a classic case of kernel-level driver corruption and corrupted configuration files. Let us begin with the root cause analysis. When you force a shutdown via the power button, the GPU driver state is not saved correctly to the disk. This creates a dirty bit in the registry, preventing the game engine from initializing the 3D environment. Furthermore, the Bannerlord launcher writes temporary files to the AppData folder during startup. If the power is cut during this write operation, the XML files become unreadable or corrupted. Even if you reinstall the game, these configuration files remain in your user profile. This explains why a simple reinstallation often fails to solve the problem. Step 1 is preparation and pre-checks. Ensure that no background processes of the game are running in the task manager. Look for tailworlds.mount and blade.launcher.exe and terminate it. Now we move to the main solution path, which involves the GPU drivers. We at Teknobalta recommend a clean installation of your graphics drivers. Download the latest driver for your NVIDIA or AMD card from the official website. Do not just update, you must perform a clean install to wipe the corrupted registry keys. If the standard installer fails, we suggest using DDU, also known as Display Driver Uninstaller. Run DDU in safe mode to ensure all remnants of the corrupted driver are removed. Once the system restarts, install the fresh driver package. This restores the handshake between the game engine and the hardware abstraction layer. If the game still fails to launch, we must address the configuration files. Navigate to your Documents folder and find the Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord folder. We at Teknobalta suggest renaming this folder to Bannerlord_old instead of deleting it immediately. This preserves your saved games while forcing the game to generate new configuration files. Next, press the Windows key and R simultaneously to open the Run dialog. Type %appdata% and hit Enter. Locate the Tailworlds folder and delete the internal Bannerlord folders. These folders contain the shader cache and launcher settings that are likely corrupted. Now, let us look at alternative methods if the issue persists. Sometimes the Steam Cloud synchronization downloads the corrupted files back to your PC. Disable Steam Cloud for Bannerlord temporarily in the game properties. Right-click the game in Steam, go to Properties, and toggle off the Cloud Sync. Now, verify the integrity of game files once more. Steam will check the hash of every local file against the official server data. If any binary file was damaged during the hard crash, Steam will re-download it. We should also check for Windows system file corruption. Open the command prompt as an administrator. Type sfc/scannow and press Enter. This utility will scan and repair protected system files that might have been hit by the power loss. Another critical step is checking the .NET framework and Visual C++ redistributables. Bannerlord relies heavily on these libraries for its launcher and engine operations. Reinstall the latest versions of Visual C++ from the Microsoft website. Now, let us discuss advanced optimization to prevent future crashes. Ensure your power plan in Windows is set to high performance. This prevents the CPU from downclocking during intensive unit placement phases. Also, check your virtual memory settings. We at Teknobalta recommend letting Windows manage the paging file size on an SSD. If you are using mods, disable them all to rule out a version mismatch. The user mentioned they are using version 1.1.5. Ensure your mods are strictly compatible with this specific build. Often, an outdated mod will crash the launcher before the game window even appears. If you still see a black screen, try launching the game directly from the executable. Navigate to the bin folder, then Win64 shipping client. Run tailworlds.mount and blade.launcher.exe as an administrator. This bypasses certain Steam overlay hooks that might be causing a conflict. We at Teknobalta have seen cases where the antivirus software flags the launcher after a crash. Add the game folder to your antivirus exclusion list. This ensures the real-time scanner does not block the engine's access to the disk. Let us summarize the solution. The primary fix is a clean GPU driver installation because the hard shutdown corrupted the driver state. The secondary fix is clearing the documents and AppData folders to remove corrupted XML files. By following these steps, you restore the software environment to a stable state. Technical reasoning shows that hardware-level interrupts like a forced shutdown are the enemy of modern software. Always try to use the task manager to end a frozen process before reaching for the power button. This protects your file system integrity and prevents registry bloat. We at Teknobalta hope this comprehensive guide resolves your Bannerlord launch issues. If you encounter further errors, check the crash logs located in the program data folder. These logs provide the specific memory address where the crash occurred. Thank you for trusting our technical expertise. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more world-class troubleshooting and hardware analysis. Stay technical, stay optimized.